Good morning or afternoon, or wherever you are watching this right now. Welcome to another rendition of a monthly series, digital transformation webinars put on by Oracle NetSuites and HubSpot's very own Flawless Inbound. Today, February 2021, we're actually going to be focusing on something called hybrid commerce. And this is a platform that can be both used by B2B and B2C organizations. We're going to deep dive into this concept for a bit and why it's something that organizations should be utilizing, especially in 2021 and moving into later years, especially as digital transformation trends tend to get more prevalent. So on to the next slide here. We always like to start off with this one, just to kind of set expectations for our audience. So with digital transformation, what we always want to say is that there is no final destination. It is a ongoing journey, especially as your organizations grow, and especially as and even more importantly, as the expectations of your clients change. You always need to pivot this strategy and continue to be moving forward with it. So we also believe that the technology is one part and is an important facet for this. But the other important part is the partner that you choose. You need someone who is agile, understands your organizational goals, understands your customer personas, and can enable a digital transformation strategy, and also the technology components that allows you to get a foot over your competition here. So on to the next slide. We're fortunate too that we've been doing this for 7+ years now, representing two major technologies, and we have had a wide range of experience with B2B and B2C companies, ranging from businesses in wholesale distribution to manufacturing to construction to retail, security, IT, managed service providers. We have learned so much from these organizations, and ultimately, we're lucky that we've had this wide range of experience, and this is what we bring to the table when we work on digital transformation with organizations in the year 2021. Really quickly, I'm going to let the presenters quickly introduce themselves to you. So I've been talking a bit, but my name is Max. I am an inbound growth consultant working for Flawless Inbound. I work a lot of these webinars, so hopefully you've gotten to know me a little bit. I tell a lot of bad jokes. I'm going to apologize for those in advance. But with me here, I'm going to let Mohammed, who is our principal solutions architect, really quickly introduce himself.
Thanks, Max, and welcome everyone. So as Max mentioned, my name is Mohammed, and I've been in the IT world, specifically in the wholesale distribution for the last 10 years. And my specialty would be in ERP systems conversions.
And also with us here is a man who doesn't need an introduction, but I'm still going to let him introduce himself. Sahar, you want to say hi?
You're very kind, Max. So my name is Sahar. I'm part of the Flawless Inbound team. And hopefully today we want to add a lot of value in our conversation around digital transformation and commerce platforms.
Awesome. So you guys all know the topic of today's workshop, but I just want to set a quick agenda with everyone. So we're in the midst of our introduction now. From here, we're going to pivot to what the 6 dimensions of frictionless commerce is, and then going on to what 4 barriers you need to be conscious of before embarking on a hybrid commerce project. Then we're going to go into actually a case study. As you'll see, hybrid commerce is quite an extensive topic that we're going to talk about. But I actually want to apply this to an industry. The one that we've picked for this workshop is manufacturing. So you'll see how hybrid commerce plays a role within the manufacturing sector. And we're going to summary and a question and answer period for those who are on the call right now. So we just always like to, before pivoting into the main discussion points here, we like to talk about kind of set set the mood with a bit of a joke or comic here. So we have a boardroom here of people wondering, digital transformation years away, not having to worry about it because it's a pipe dream. But suddenly this wrecking ball, which was COVID-19, has come in and has suddenly the paradigm has shifted, and now digital transformation is something that has been accelerated for a lot of organizations. And for those who haven't, like this boardroom that you see here, suddenly they're falling behind. And it's pivotal now more than ever to bring that into your discussions, especially that we're at the beginning of a new calendar and fiscal year for a lot of organizations, to be focusing now on what are the key business processes that we need to fix, where do we have gaps, and what are our goals that we have to address now before we fall behind and before this wrecking ball takes us out. So I'm going to pass it over now to Seher, who's kind of going to go from here and talk about our key business process for the day, which is hybrid commerce.
Beautiful. Thank you, Max. And you know what? I just want to really speak about this slide one more time, because this is exactly what we have seen with a lot of organizations. So I know there's a lot of people are looking at this slide and thinking that might be really what's happening in my organization right now. So this boardroom are actually your executive board of directors, or maybe your investors in your organization say, hey, let's not just shake the boat right now. Let's keep things going because of profit margins, net profit, growth revenue, things like that. But then that was true maybe the first 2 quarters of 2020. When COVID hit, everybody was in a freeze mode. And the big question is, should we invest? Should we just keep the lights on because maybe things will go back to normal or not? And I think COVID proved that there's a normal, but there will be a new normal, not the normal that we're used to. So today, we're going to focus more on maybe if your organization is embarking on something we call hybrid commerce. Now, hybrid commerce is really kind of a combination of B2B commerce and B2C commerce. And I want you to think about that from the point of how can I enable kind of an engine like that to improve my top line revenue, but more importantly, also improve my bottom line revenue from a costing perspective. So there are 6 dimensions that I would invite everyone on the call today to think of before you embark on a true e-commerce platform. And before I go there, I just want to give you just a case scenario of a sample B2C, business to consumer. And they said, before embarking on a hybrid commerce or an e-commerce platform, one of the key challenges that they were facing, it's not just the UX and the shopping cart and putting the right product online. They actually highlighted something that I have seen that not all of organizations are thinking of, which is how can we fix fulfillment and multi-channel alignment? And I want you to think about multi-channel is from where my audiences are coming from. Are they just walking into my store, which is doubtable right now due to COVID? Are they coming online? And then are they coming online from which shop? Is it Shopify, Amazon, other things? And can I fulfill properly to them? The second thing is ease of access, design, navigation, security and payment option, positive friction or positive experience, if I may say. And then what happens after the sale of a product that was sold on e-commerce? How does customer service deal with that if there is any issues? And the final thing, of course, is personalization of this model. So this was just kind of some statistics that was gathered by a lot of organizations during specifically the last 6 months, that before embarking on an e-commerce solution, you need to think about that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go deeper a little bit into the 6 dimensions of a frictionless hybrid commerce platform. So first, let's discuss fulfillment and multi-channel. If you think about it, right now, even if you go to your own personal experience when you're ordering something from Amazon, from eBay and other platforms, usually you want to make sure that the product that came into your house is the right product. Hopefully the packages are coming well packed, hopefully without any dents. And we have noticed lately that even in the packing side of things and the shipment, sometimes the product are live a little bit earlier than the forecasted time. And I know during COVID, there was a big freeze in shipping and receiving, and there was even delay in delivery. But clearly Amazon and other platforms start going back and reinvesting in their infrastructure to do that. So question number one to you, as now you're trying to build your own e-commerce platform, are you confident that you can actually have a system, not only to build UX design and shopping cart to make sure that the experience is fulfilled for your client, but can you guarantee delivery? Or at least do you have a system that can do a 360 view to ensure that the packet is shipped properly or not? And don't worry, we have answers to all of that today, but those are one of the key things you need to focus on. Second, let's speak about the concept of safety and security. So in the past, when you're doing shopping online, usually it was maybe more from a convenience point of view. But now, think about what's happening in the market and what will be happening maybe in the next few years. Kind of maybe you don't feel secure anymore to go to a physical store. So it's more about also physical security and also payment security and kind of online transaction and encryption of sessions and things like that. So my question now is, when you're building an e-commerce platform, are you confident that you have a very secured online payment? And also, are you marketing to your existing clients that, hey, instead of walking to my store, they actually can go online and actually shop with me or not? Now, one of the things that you would see here while we're presenting this stands very true not only for B2C, but also for B2B commerce. Because I can still apply and ask the same questions if you are, let's say, a technology company who are selling your technology and services through channel or resellers. Maybe you're manufacturing, doing the same thing to your distribution or your franchise operators or your licensee who can resell your products and services. Maybe in the past, you had a lot of sales team that are doing face-to-face with them. Now, as we know, there is no face-to-face, there is less face-to-face. So is there an online solution that actually can empower you to do, hopefully, more with less? The third thing is, now, in this stage, now this is where we then focus on UI and UX design. The experience that somebody, when they're shopping online on your website, that they would see. Is it more personalized to them? Maybe they want to change option in your products and services before going to the stage of the checkout cart. Maybe they decided to save this checkout cart and then log in later on, maybe a couple of hours from now, because they want to review this with their business partner before they buy this piece of equipment from you. Or maybe they build the shopping cart, but now you want to make sure that in your e-commerce process, you will escalate this to an online product specialist that can join on a group chat on the website to help the client identify the right category for their business or things like that. So again, it's very critical when you are building or designing or embarking on an e-commerce platform to understand that the navigation experience, it's not just how the menus look like, the branding, the look and feel, and the UX. It's important, but what's more important is, can it really reflect on your sales process, especially if we're speaking to a B2B environment, not just a B2C environment. Another thing is personalization. So if I take an example of a B2C environment, you would always see that the marketing team are trying their best to build a persona for whoever is buying that product or service from them. So that's kind of a very basic sample of making sure you truly understand the persona. For example, the demography of prospect that will be buying this from you. Are they used to follow up through text, through chat, through a phone call, through an email? The other thing also is, maybe if you're in a B2B environment, maybe the way how you communicate with your distributors or resellers, maybe you want this to be on an official email with proper branding. Maybe you need those personalization to happen, that maybe you need to build a membership section on the website for your resellers and distributors. So when they log in, they can see completely a different experience, like, for example, pricing options, pricing discounts, net new roadmaps of your products and services that you don't want yet to share with the rest of your clients, but only want to share it with your channel or with your resellers or with your franchisee. So that's kind of another idea, that when you're thinking about truly an e-commerce platform, you just need to kind of go deeper and think about how you can do this better. The final thing, and this is again due to COVID, is maybe in the past you were investing a lot for people who come to your store or come to your office locations to start a sales process. And it was easier, I wouldn't say walk in the park, but it was easier to visually adjust the walk through the locations, how you receive new prospect coming to your door, coming to your business, or coming to your store, and add value to them. It was still challenging, but it was kind of easier to do that. Right now, everything is virtual, everything is online, even in B2B. You're selling a lot of B2B products or B2C products. So here's the question. Can you maintain and keep the retention of all the traffic coming to your online store as you were used to when you had a physical store, or maybe when you had a physical office where you invite people for workshops and training and trade shows and stuff like that? So when you're building an e-commerce platform, you also need to think about how can I, as much as I can, close the gap between an experience that I was able to deliver to somebody walking to my store or walking to my office versus now I'm delivering this full experience online. So this is something else we need to think of as a team. The final thing is think about the checkout process, right? So when you're doing a checkout process, let's say I'll take essential manufacturing as an example. Maybe before you had a sales rep going in, visiting an installment facility. They're having a sales conversation. Maybe they shake hands. Maybe they deliver a contract. They sign the contract physically together. So now how can I take this process and do it completely online? Now let's take the easier model, which is a B2C model, where you're selling to a consumer directly. You're not selling to another business. So now the checkout process, how can I make sure that the checkout process is easier? The payment options are there. So I'm not forcing the client for one or two payment options. And more importantly, it's secured. Maybe you still need the client for some reason to come in and take the product from you. But now, because of COVID regulations, do you have in a checkout option a way that you can maybe book a delivery time where either the client will come to some of your locations or maybe come to a common place where they can do a pickup? Or maybe you have a system connected to the back end of your e-commerce to forecast exactly when would this product hit the client's kind of location, and which spot are you going to be shipping to, and what should be the experience from there. We have seen this lately with Amazon, with other platforms like Instacart and others. Sometimes the delivery team deliver the product and the service in front of the house, and then they take a picture, and then they send this picture back to the client as an insurance that the product and the service was well delivered. So this is a challenge back to us as business leaders. How can I apply a similar experience like that for my B2B organizations? And there are ways to do that as well. So in summary,
Sahir,
hey Mohammed,
Sahir,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, just while you're still on that topic, we do have a question that came in from one of the audience, and it's actually regarding Amazon. So funny you mentioned that. So the question is, why can't we just use an existing e-commerce platform like Shopify or Amazon and just plug it in?
Beautiful, and that's a great question. We get that from the clients all the time. Now, what we're trying to convey as a message here is that it's usually the answer is and, not or. So what we're trying to say is that, sure, if you still want to keep that channel, the Amazon channel or the Shopify channel, other channels, just make sure that you have a multi-channel focused approach to e-commerce, not relying on a single channel because of a couple of reasons. Number one, when you rely on a single channel, especially when you go online, that's a single point of failure. Number two, when you rely on channels that are reselling for you, like an Amazon or Shopify, they take a percentage of your revenue. So now this will affect your bottom line too. Number three, when you start advertising your products and services to a marketplace, like an Amazon or like an eBay store, or maybe you have an EDI connected to an online storing facility. Let's say you're reselling your products and services to Walmart or to Marine Market in the US or other bigger retail facility. Now you're putting your products and services with everybody's products and services on the same shelf, which means you start inviting competition to your products and services. See, sometimes when you go to a marketplace, and think, Mohammed, to you, your own personal experience, let's say you want to buy new shoes, right? And you love the Nike brand. But then when you go into Amazon and pick the Nike brand, usually what Amazon would do, and that's righteous of them, they have to do that because they want to add value to you. Hey, Mohammed, before buying the Nike brand, did you know that Adidas also is doing that? And. So now this means that there is competition already came into your prospect that you have been spending a lot of marketing dollars and sales dollars to close the deal. But now because you're propagating your product on a main marketplace, competition came in. The last part, maybe they steal your clients. So that was one of the core reasons why mid-sized and larger B2B organizations, they're not saying no to Amazon or Shopify or other platforms. They're saying, but still we need a centralized e-commerce platform where we can sell our products and services on our website without propagating to different marketplaces. So again, the answer is and, not or. And that's why we've seen a lot of requests coming now to build the e-commerce platform. I hope that answered your question, Mohammed.
Perfect. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sahir.
Thank you. So, and actually just to prove more why we're doing this is kind of the second part of our presentation today, is the key barriers. If now you're embarking on a true e-commerce platform, and again, when we speak about e-commerce, we're not just speaking about the front side, which is the shopping cart. I want to make sure it's user-friendly. It's kind of everything else that we were explaining before. So when you're doing that, please understand that there's a lot of underlying technology layers that you should think of as a business leader, especially if there are CIO in the audience or marketeer and sales leaders in the audience. You need to understand that the e-commerce platform, that's kind of the front end that everybody speaks about. But we notice always when you go to implementation that they're missing all those back ends. How can I do order and inventory management? How can I manage delay? Because now more than ever, I want to reduce friction. I want my prospect to come back to my online store. I want to make sure that I'm not left with 4 or 5 different siloed software to be able to build an e-commerce platform. I want a single e-commerce platform, front end, middleware, and back end. And hopefully, I want this e-commerce platform to be seamlessly connected to my financial platform as well, and my inventory and warehouse management and everything else. So then I can, as much as I can, give the same experience like an Amazon platform. Now, we know that Amazon invested like millions and billions of dollars to build a full fulfillment multi-channel platform internally for their audience. We're not suggesting the same thing here because there is actually platforms that are designed for small to mid-sized organizations that can give the same look and feel from a front end, from a middle level, and from a back end to clients like that. Like, for example, Oracle NetSuite. So NetSuite is a platform that actually can deliver everything end-to-end, fulfillment, security, multi-channel, and it's a single platform. You're not left with 4 or 5 different vendors to cover. Other things that we have seen before with a lot of clients when we're speaking to them is website synchronization issues, especially again, because maybe you decided to put your products on Amazon or Shopify, but they're not your financial system. They are not your truly warehouse management platform. And they can't see really what's happening and the time that your product will be ready to ship. They cannot see any of that. And especially if you're a manufacturer and doing some kind of assembly internally in your line of production. So now this means that you have a lot of websites that are communicating together. Yes, it's digitized, it's servers speaking together, but at the end of the day, if you want to secure it, there need to be VPN connection, security connection, things like that. And now because they're external servers speaking together, if something went wrong, there will be a lot of synchronization problems, which means transactions might not go on time, or maybe the forecast of how many products you're carrying from month to month might get delayed, which means customers will get their product maybe after the time that was anticipated, which means your customer sat will go down. That might reflect on your brand or future forecast of revenue in future quarters. So that is something else you need to think of. And then again, we've seen with a lot of clients that they get excited, they go in and build maybe a shopping cart on Shopify, but then they find that they need to maintain a lot of integration between the other software. So there's always an ongoing integration cost that maybe you'll not see in day one, but it will increase with time when you're doing this. So what we're suggesting is we actually have the Oracle NetSuite platform where it's an end-to-end solution that can connect all those dots for you. It's the same platform that are doing basic sales and basic marketing. Sometimes we enhance it with HubSpot if you want advanced sales and marketing. But everything else, think about inventory management, order management, the pick, pack, and ship, the front side, the e-commerce platform. Actually, NetSuite Oracle have something called Suite Commerce, where you can customize completely the shopping experience. You can build a personalized experience. You can build membership on the website. You can have existing clients coming back to log in and see their past shopping experience and suggest future shopping experience. That's if it's a B2C. If it's a B2B environment, you can build a multi-login ability on the Suite Commerce where, let's say, your distributors or your franchise resellers, when they log in, they see completely a different pricing model. You can optimize or enforce a pricing strategy. You can show them what's happening down the pipeline from a product development perspective, but you want this to be only for their eyes, not for the public market. So you can actually have different login ability to be able to do this, and so on and so forth. So hence why we're positioning this platform or this solution for our audience today. The back end really is the NetSuite, the Oracle NetSuite end to end. And if you can see, it's a sign of infinity, which is it's a closed loop. We want to make sure that this is kind of repeatable, and it's a flywheel, and you're growing your business this way. Customers in the center, and you can see the X in the center means it's all about customer experience. But we're not just speaking about the X for experience of just the front end, which is the shopping cart. No, we're talking about the whole experience connected and orchestrated end to end. Which bring me to the final part of our first part of our presentation today. When you're embarking on a hybrid commerce platform, please understand that you need a single platform that hopefully can do B2B and B2C. Some of you in the audience might say, but Seher, I'm a B2B organization. What do you mean B2B and B2C? Think about if you're essential manufacturing, you still want to market and showcase your product to your end user, but maybe you're not selling to them directly. So then you're advising them to go through a reseller or distribution channel. So this is a little bit of an advanced e-commerce platform. That's why we call it hybrid commerce, because it's B to B to C. I'm an essential manufacturing selling through distribution to my end user, who might be a small business or maybe a consumer. So you need a single platform that can actually deliver on that. Number two, ease of use, critical. Number three, agility and extensibility. Hopefully you're looking for a cloud-based platform that can do everything. Now, the feedback we always hear from clients is Amazon is cloud-based, Shopify is cloud-based, so I'm cloud-based. And the answer is no, wrong. Where is your financial platform? Is it a legacy financial platform or not? Number two, are you using QuickBooks? Because QuickBooks have very basic limited feature, cannot even have inventory management. Number three, maybe you have a legacy inventory management that's not even connected to your QuickBooks, and it's not really easily connected to your Amazon or Shopify. And when I say not easily connected, meaning you're maybe connecting it right now with a duct tape solution through API integration, because they're different systems, which again doesn't make it easy, and it costs you a lot of integration problems, time and money over the time of you owning this solution. And if it's not connected that well, then you don't have real-time visibility to the data. When you have a single platform, real-time visibility is a checkbox because it's all consolidated in one platform. More importantly, we all say this in business, time is money. So if you're launching a new product and services, you need to be very critical on the time to market, TTM. If they decided to launch a new product, can I just program it in the system, and the system will know exactly how many inventory is in-house right now, how many inventory do I need to order, what's the fulfillment ratio, and am I carrying this inventory next month, or were able to successfully sell and get rid of previous inventory? What's the carrying cost to carry inventory from month to month or from year to year? Can I really get some insight to making sure that next year or next quarter, I only manufacture inventory that can fly off my shelf versus inventory that's actually staying longer? So that's, to me, that is TTM, time to market. And also, if we're checking the box of everything else, then hopefully we have a total cost of ownership when we're owning this platform end to end, and that's TCO. So your mission as a business leader is you focus on increasing your TTM, increasing your total time to market, and reducing your TCO, your total cost of ownership, as much as you can when you're embarking on an enterprise hybrid commerce solution for your organization. Now, in the next part of my presentation here, and we have maybe 20 minutes left, is understanding this we're going to share with you a scenario of a manufacturing platform. I'm going to kind of share you from a high level what they were trying to achieve, and just kind of as a case study, we're going to share with you what's the challenges, what they want to achieve. So if you think about what we have covered so far, we covered the scenario of how you think about the hybrid commerce, B2B or B2C. And now we're going to close the session by going a little bit deeper into, let's say if you're manufacturing, doing B2B to C, how would that really work for you and your business? So in this scenario, the strategy, the initiative, and the challenges that they were facing is they want to differentiate themselves in a commodity market by making sure that they have the most cost-effective producers in the industry, that they become the most cost-effective producer. That's why they can hopefully sell more and still maintain profit margins at the end of the day. The initiative that they decide to embark on is they want to expand their e-commerce platform. So let's assume that they had a basic Shopify card and they did some basic integration with Amazon as an Amazon vendor dashboard, but they want to take it truly to the next level. Also, one of the key things that this organization faced in 2020 is that they had a disrupted supply chain problem, especially because they were relying on overseas kind of supply chain of raw material. And of course, we knew what happened in 2020 from that perspective. So they want in 2021 to reduce the likelihood of supply chain disruption, regardless of COVID or non-COVID, due to other future macroeconomics that might hit the business. So they want to kind of insulate themselves from those kind of challenges. Now, going deeper into challenges, they find that they want to demand, if there's a change coming quickly, they want to be more agile. They want to have visibility to the business. We call it a 360 view. They want to understand if they can enhance and optimize any process, especially with the sales team. And also, they're a little bit frustrated because they believe in the promise of an online shopping cart, but they find out that they are left with back-end systems that are not connecting with the online shopping cart. And when I say not connected here, let me be very critical. Basic connection was there because there was an API that was built, but it's not really giving them extensible visibility to really what's happening in inventory. If they change something in the back end, can it really reflect immediately on the front end shopping cart or not? So those are the key challenges that we want to highlight in this case study. Quickly here, usually when you work with Flawless Inbound, we usually have something called an assessment matrix of how are you doing those things right now and how can we move to the future. We usually, with the team, either me, Mohammed, John, or Max, we usually first need to understand where you are right now, hence why the current flag, where you want to be in the future, hence why the potential of where you want to be in your organization. So in this case study, we think about commerce. Where you are right now, maybe you have the basic EDI interface between your kind of ordering system and let's say the big retail stores in Canada and US. So each and every time they want to order from you a bulk quantity, you were successfully having an EDI system to be able to kind of populate that into their inventory facility. Maybe you have an ad hoc system, a small system that can do chargebacks, automatic invoicing. So kind of you automate some of that. So in the old days, we say, okay, you were successful in digitizing some of that, but you're not yet doing a full digital transformation to take that to the next level where you can have a customer self-service checkout. You can have a category and a segmentation. You can have quick order quality and quantity pricing strategy that can be applied immediately without going to any pre-approvals. So this is where you are right now, where you're successful to get away from emails and fax and phone orders. So congratulations, you digitize basic core function, but then you did not really take it to the next level of truly digital transformation to moving that path. Second one is CRM and marketing. Maybe you're using basic marketing automation. You have now a little bit of customer segmentation, customer profiles. You have a little bit of, maybe a tool like HubSpot doing a little bit of marketing automation for you. So great, you managed to digitize manual email lists that were going out in the future. So you did digitize that, no problem. But now, because you want to be more agile and react quickly in any kind of customer demand, you want to do a digital transformation jump from the current situation to the potential best-in-class, which means you want to personalize the campaigns that are going out. You're not just shooting emails out just because somebody came to your shopping cart and want to order this product. You want to maybe build a little bit of an AI engine to forecast what kind of pricing that actually works better. Maybe you want to do some kind of data analysis to understand what future inventory you need to build in your system. Maybe you want to make sure that this solution is multi-channel and can work through not only email, but SMS, social media, online stores, and other things. To me now, this would, to take you from here to here, that's called digital transformation. The third thing is Salesforce automation. Let's say you have 3 sales reps, and they're doing an awesome job, and they're really trying to close deals for you. And this is specifically for this manufacturing company because it's B2B. Maybe you already digitized their process. They're not attending trade shows anymore. They're using tools like Zoom to do an outreach or distance selling. They're using HubSpot for CRM. So you did very well here in moving them from a non-centralized sales management to a centralized sales management. So that's great. But now they're still doing a lot of things manual. They have to write the contract manually. They have to do the manual follow-up and the multi-touch point, especially if they want to bring a new distributor to your manufacturing and best practice. Maybe they don't really have visibility to their pipeline, and they don't have an automated way to forecast the scorecard of, should I invest more time with this reseller or is it a waste of time for me? Maybe sometimes each now and then, yes, they have a basic CRM, but each and every time they need a discount, they need to go to you as a business leader to approve the discount. So what if we can, with this same system, which by the way, I'm still speaking about hybrid commerce, can I actually move them from the current status to a digital transformation status to automate all of that as much as I can? To me, that is called digital transformation. The last 2 things is order management. At the end of the day, you're embarking on an e-commerce platform. There need to be products that hopefully you plug into that system that then you can sell. So maybe right now you have an offline pricing model, or maybe you have a pricing model in hand and somehow kind of semi-programmed into your order management platform. So congratulations, you're able to do some kind of digitization here. But now to take it from the current status to digital transformation, hopefully now with the new system, you can do a 360 view so that you can see exactly reports of how many orders were fulfilled, how successful they are, what's visibility about all process, can I optimize or remove friction from any other thing when it comes to order management perspective. Account payable, account receivable, bank reconciliation, all those kind of things can be added to that. Maybe you're doing it manually, maybe you're just relying on a basic just financial platform like QuickBooks or Intact or Xero that do those kind of basic functions. But again, those platforms don't have truly a full order management or an inventory management. And of course, they don't come with a CRM or a marketing automation tool. And yes, we all know they also don't have a front-end e-commerce platform. So again, you're left with this bag carrying a lot of tools and you're trying to integrate them together. So embarking on a consolidated platform that actually can deliver this for you To us, that's now is true digital transformation for your business process. Last but not least, inventory and warehouse management. Maybe already you're successful in digitizing basic things, like maybe in the past you were relying on paper-based workflows or order tracking. Now, congratulations, you start getting kind of a scanner, and you have a basic process where when you scan a box that comes into your receiver warehouse, it kind of somehow reflects in an inventory management. So congratulations, you were able to digitize some of that. So now if you want to invest in a hybrid commerce platform that can take you from that level to a full digital transformation here, so how about if we can automate the decision of where should I store this product? How can I aggregate multiple products in a bigger package so that I can ship to this facility faster? Let's say if you have multi-facility spread in the US or Canada, how can you forecast future business to say, hey, it seems that the location in California is capturing more business than the location in New York. So I can see that because now I have a full 360 view on how my efficiency is my inventory. Maybe I want to carry less, not more, products year to year. So maybe you're looking for an IoT, Internet of Things, or an AI, or an RFID tag to scan better and enhance this process better. To me, moving from this to this, current to potential, that is digital transformation. So if you remember the first part of our presentation today, we were kind of suggesting a consolidated, holistic platform, like, for example, Oracle NetSuite. And Oracle NetSuite can deliver on that. So if I want to tackle those 5 business processes and enhance them, this was a scenario, a case study, saying, let's say you're a manufacturing, very basic manufacturing, your top line revenue is $5 million. Let's say your average gross margin, and just for the audience today, gross margin is simply subtract top line revenue from variable expense. So think about the cost of goods. So you need to buy raw material first to be able to add your value on it, and then you need to put it on your virtual store, which is your e-commerce platform. So usually what we have seen as best practice for just basic commerce, usually your average gross revenue usually is from 35 to 45%. So we kind of forecasted that, just an assumption that your gross revenue is usually around 38%. Okay, next. If you guys remember in this case study, we said that this client had the basic e-commerce platform. So they were generating 12% of the $5 million coming from e-commerce versus their door-to-door sales or their distributors or resellers selling. So we're saying if we can, with this new solution, enhance the 12% and up it to 16.3% versus the 12%, we can see that on annual basis, you're adding to your top line revenue at least $81,000. Again, this is assumptions. We have a very detailed tool that we are more than happy to book time with you and review later on. And we said from a revenue growth perspective, maybe your current sales team are doing as much as they can, and they're kind of efficient in a way. If we can enhance the efficiency and give your sales rep time back so they don't need to do manual order management or manual billing, or they don't need to wait for approval of discount pricing, we can automate that. So we're saying maybe the current efficiency is at that level, future efficiency will just increase 2 or 3%. That's another addition to the $81,000 that will start repeating and incurring on an annual basis. And there's more things, but just for the sake of time today, I just want to share with you on a 5-year trajectory. We're saying that it seems that when we start applying those models, those are the key new benefit or revenue that have been enhanced or added to your top line revenue to be able to do that. And if not, also it's reducing your operation cost. And you can see the annual benefit here. It's year 1, it's a little bit more, and then it starts growing year over year because it's an accumulated annual benefit. Where hopefully with a project like that on a 5-year term, your TCO will have a lot of value, an increase of almost $1.3 million over 5 years.
Sahir, I have a question actually. We see quite a reduced annual benefit in year 1, which I think would be a worrying sign for a lot of organizations, especially with undertaking such a big project. Is there, what are, I guess, the considerations that they need to make at that point?
I think Mohammed would be better than me to answer this question.
Sure.
Sure, Sahir. Max, great question. So to keep the answer short, year one is usually your investment year, right? Whether it's in capital or time investment. So that is where you pay for your digital transformation project, and you fund the project. So whether you're paying for licensing or whether you're paying for the consulting fees, and as well, it's all of the time that is invested in the project. So your change management, your training, and so forth. All of these eat up from your first year's benefits. So usually you would start to see the benefits grow from year two and forward. So if you can see here from you can see a big jump of $250,000, for instance, for this case study between year one to year two.
Beautiful.
Gotcha. Thanks, Mohammed.
Did that answer your question, Max?
You did, yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome. So I know we shared a lot today, and thank you again for joining and engagement. And this is kind of a quick summary of what we shared. First, before embarking on a digital transformation journey, especially in hybrid commerce, think about the 6 dimension of frictionless commerce that you need to work on. And then we also shared the 4 barriers before considering and embarking on a hybrid commerce. And as a reminder again to the audience, if you missed 50 minutes of conversation today, hybrid commerce is B2B and B2C. And we said sometimes for manufacturing, it's B2B2C, which means essential manufacturing selling to a distributor who sells to the end user. And then we closed our session by sharing a case study of an essential manufacturing and how they were able to properly calculate their TCO, total cost of ownership, spread over 5 years when they're implementing a full hybrid commerce platform backed up by a very strong ERP solution that's giving you a 360 view on the business like a NetSuite Oracle platform. Max, back to you.
For sure. So just in closing, again, a lot was discussed today, and we like to use this slide here to really simplify our engagement model. And we love our acronyms here at Flawless Inbound. So this one's a triple P, and that stands for People, Playbook, Platform. So we have the in-house team from development and strategy to assist you on this. We have 6 playbooks actually that we use in our consulting process and also in our execution process to help bring organizations, especially in this case, maybe to a hybrid commerce strategy, help bring them to that ideal scenario that they see. And then lastly, the platforms. We've mentioned them before, but we represent 3 main technologies. I know the focus of today was NetSuite, but with our other partnerships as well, this only helps with your unique digital transformation, what your needs are. So that is the platform section of the triple P. And Mohammed or Seher, I know you guys have a bit more expertise with launching a NetSuite plan, but just for the audience here, this is what we, often one of the questions we get is how long does something like this take? And for our go live, for a minimum viable product, as we've said at the very beginning, digital transformation is a journey. It's not something that's just one and done. There's a lot of optimization, customization that needs to be ongoing. But for a go live minimum viable product, we see a 100-day plan that we've illustrated below here.
Sure, Max. Thanks. I'll take this one here. So usually when it comes to ERP transformation projects, we look at a 100-day ERP launch pad. This is divided up into four stages. If I should say, approximately each stage is 3 to 4 weeks. So the first stage, we come in and really try to understand your business. So that is where we get to learn about your business processes, your team, and we would sit down with you and come up with a detailed project plan of, how the ERP implementation would be launched. The second stage, it would be actually getting our hands dirty, configuring the system, developing any scripts or customizations if required for your business. And that is where we would also do the acceptance test planning, which is the AT planning, and to start transitioning the system over to you and your team. The third stage, which would be approximately during week 9 to 13, that is when we finalize the data migration. We would train you and your team on the new system, and we would do the UAT testing, which is the user acceptance testing, which is you and your team would actually try out the system and make sure we would ensure that the system meets all of your business needs and is well aligned with your business processes. The final stage, so right in between stage 3 and 4, that is when we flip on the switch. You would go live, and the final stage, this is us supporting you in your post go live stage. So we would be there with you throughout the 2 to 3 weeks post conversion, and we would support you. And obviously, our involvement with you and your team would not end at week 15, right? For us, this is a long-term relationship that we would be building with you. However, this would sum up our 100-day ERP launchpad. So, Sahir, if you have anything that you would like to add to that as well.
Thank you, Mohammed. You explained it very well, and exactly as you and Max said, this kind of 100-day is the minimum viable product to kind of get the product going, test the water, understand change management, how that affects your team, existing business process, what would the new world look for you? And of course, usually, Mohammed, as you said, usually an ERP or a hybrid commerce platform usually takes from 3-4 months, sometimes to 9 months in year one, to really get it going and have all the divisions getting the best value out of it. So you explained it very well. Max, back to you.
Awesome. So lastly, we talked about the team, I should say the people in the people process playbook slide. This is what it looks like from a NetSuite perspective. So if you are embarking on something like hybrid commerce, warehouse management, those sorts of projects that's encompassed in the NetSuite brand, this is the flawless inbound team in-house. We don't subcontract anything because we find that when everything is done in one place, the quality and also the timelines are far more better and accurate that way. So this is the team that supports you. You have everyone from strategic level to solution architects like Mohammed, to those with comp sci technical backgrounds that would be doing the programming of your platform. And we always want to recommend to everyone to follow us on our Flawless Inbound LinkedIn page. This is the best place to find out more about events like these. Look at some of our knowledge articles. We're publishing blogs every single week, as well as keep on track on what we're doing for NetSuite and with HubSpot in our collaborations as partners with those two technology vendors.
Beautiful. I just want to highlight one thing, Max, that we decided starting this year, 2021, that each Thursday, the last Thursday of each month, usually we have a morning session that speaks about digital transformation, and kind of the core platform we focus on is Oracle NetSuite. In the afternoon session, we speak about company and organization growth in the sales, the marketing, and the services division. And kind of the core platform that we'll focus on there will be HubSpot model, because they have a CRM, a marketing automation function, and a services function as well. So if you missed the morning session, hopefully to see you in the afternoon session. If you missed the afternoon session, hopefully we'll see you in the following months as well.
Awesome. And just to finish off, I know we talked about it at the beginning, but these are a couple of our accolades. We're not just partners with these organizations, HubSpot and Oracle NetSuite. We have a ton of industry expertise, from wholesale distribution, manufacturing, retail. We have 8+ years experience working with NetSuite, as well as we've done things like published a book. We are part of a number of organizations, from Vistage to BC Tech and to Mars Discovery, where we've actually presented and helped other organizations in these communities.
Great.
And that's the end of it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
All right.
So thank you, team. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Mohammed. And thanks, everybody, for joining. And we're always here. If you guys have any more questions, definitely we're here to help.
Thanks, everyone.